Hey guys, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Sonic Colors for the Nintendo Wii. In this part, we're going after all of the red star rings and S ranks in what I'd say is the most difficult stage of the game, Asteroid Coaster. Now thankfully, although these are generally the most difficult stages in the game, the S ranks here are actually not that bad. For the most part, you don't even need to get a time bonus or your ring bonus. You really just can get the S rank just by playing through the stage. As long as you make some good use of your color powers, it's not going to work in every level, but it is going to work in a fair few of them. And of course, the thing with Asteroid Coaster is a lot of the stages tend to be pretty short. It's like it was by far the shortest part of the main playthrough. So far, it's the shortest part of this playthrough. Asteroid Coaster is difficult, but I guess to make up for that, it's also considerably shorter. I don't know, maybe that's just a coincidence. What is difficult is trying to control this thing in 3D, but thankfully, just about made it. So you do need to hold on to the frenzy so that you can get up to there, boost up to that red ring. You do need to boost to it, otherwise Sonic isn't going to go high enough. And I am convinced that this bit of music right here is a remix of the World Adventure. Like it's one very quick bit, but I swear it goes da 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 da. Like, it's the World Adventure from Sonic Unleashed. Why is that here? Maybe it's just a coincidence that does tend to happen sometimes with Sonic songs. It's like a Sonic Unleashed. Savannah Citadel, it sounds like the end credits to Sonic 1 8-bit. In Sonic 06, the tune for Silver Steam, Dreams of Absolution, it sounds like Green Hill. It's weird. It's apparently that at least the latter is a coincidence. I think they both are, but it's just that one tiny bit of the song that just sounds like the World Adventure. It's odd. So this time we actually need to make our way onto the Saturns in order to get the red rings. So make sure you take this right path. And I don't think you can really control Sonic here. You probably still need to hold forward. You can boost, but other than that, don't need to worry about quick stepping anywhere. It's a simple straight line. It just makes the stage last a bit longer, I guess. But at the same time, you get rings, you get a red ring, and I hate anti-gravity. This red ring, it's deceptively tricky. Because where that red ring is up there is where the gravity switches. So you're better off either trying to do it like that or boost if you have the right distance. Like, this was my second take and that red ring was causing me so many problems, I just decided, screw it. We're starting from the beginning again. So I was going back and forward, back and forward. I hate this part. I'm probably mistiming that, but still, I hate that part. I also hate this part. So the frenzy is hard enough to control in a straight line. Now you gotta try and do it on a curvy path. And I went right past the spring. It's right in the middle, and I went right past it. There's a spring in all of these. I hope you can't fall off the side. And sometimes it just likes to get stuck on walls like that. Let's try this again. There we go. So when I get to that one, heavy attack onto this, and then that'll take you up towards the goal ring, which I then proceed to go right past. And I have to work my way around. There we go. So you do still need to get a pretty high ring bonus for this level, but the rest are all pretty simple. But this one isn't very simple because I freaking hate this stage. Alright, worst stage in the game. Asteroid Coaster Act 2. Now the red rings are actually pretty simple, but I just hate the design of this stage. Because if there's one thing I hate more than anti-gravity, it's constantly switching gravity, and that's what this stage really loves making you do. You'd think it would just be get to the top of this tower, but then it isn't. It's like, that's half the stage, if that. And I did not know you could wall jump there. You learn something new every day. Yeah, this first part isn't too bad. This part's a bit of a pain because of Sonic's stiff jumps. Yeah, I just barely made that platform. And I barely made that the first time. These disappear instantly except for the bottom one, so when you land on the middle, jump back up and then just make your way back up again. You're given plenty of time to escape from that bottom one. I remember these things from Eggman Land. I hated them there and I hate them now. But they're even worse here for the simple fact that it doesn't have the laughing Eggman face on it. Come on! As annoying as they were, that was cool. Just having that high-pitched laugh with Eggman's face on it. I liked that. We don't have that here. Instead they look boring. And all they do is just make this weird kind of sound. It's not nearly as exciting. So I take it this massive green bit in the middle is supposed to be the actual planet to Asteroid Coaster, because again, very rarely is it ever really seem like there's 5 planets. We have Sweet Mountain, we have Planet Wisp. But every other shot we see, the planets aren't there. Like we see them on the world map. Starlight Carnival isn't a planet. And then Asteroid Coaster sounds more like asteroids, but there does appear to be a planet in the middle. Then Aquarium Park, did it always look like that? Like, which bit of it is original planet and which bit is Eggman now? I mean, you can say the same to an extent with things on Sweet Mountain. It's like, what is original planet? What is Eggman now? What is Eggman? I barely made that. It's like, was the planet always covered in glass? It must have been, otherwise where does what's storing the water? Or is it just because it's in space? And that allows the water to stay in place. Did it always coincidentally happen to look like Japan? These questions will never be answered, but when you look at them in the CGI cutscenes at the end, all we see are like Sweet Mountain and then 2 very generic planets that don't really look like anything. You just do a single jump there, hold the button, otherwise it tends to mess you up. Because the gravity does switch. And then you just have to be really careful if you're jumping around in this next section. Why I hate Asteroid Coaster Act 2. Why does anti-gravity have to be in so many games? I don't think I've ever known a single person that likes anti-gravity. Everybody hates it. Why does it have to make an appearance in so many games? I'm sure some games do it fine. Super Mario Galaxy does it fine. But even then it can be somewhat annoying. But it's like this right here. Because really your problem isn't so much the gravity. It's the fact that Sonic always moves forward whenever the gravity switches. And it is very easy to then go in front of the next wall that's moving out. And if so much as the tip of Sonic's shoe gets hit by that thing, he is going off into the foreground. And then you will die. I mean, Sonic Colors, I don't think it takes your score back to 0. And if the checkpoint is close enough, you do still get another chance. You know, that's only like 1 chance, otherwise you're not really going to be getting anything. But this stage, this freaking stage, this one took me probably the longest out of all of them. It's such a quick stage, but the problem is the Spikes Wisp. I take back all the praise I gave about the Spikes Wisp. I really do not remember the Spikes Wisp being this much of a pain, but it really, really is. You'll notice my red ring thing is like already full, and I already had the S rank. Well, it's because I kept on missing the last red ring. You know, the one that I technically already had. But you know, this is a full showcase. You've got to showcase where all 5 red rings are, and get the S rank in one go, if possible. And technically, I already got that first red ring on the first play. That last red ring on the first playthrough. All the others I was getting except for that one, and it's all because of this freaking Spikes Wisp. This thing just loves to get caught in corners. It can't decide whether or not it wants to stop moving. Like, look at that! Look, that should have kept going. Why did I get stuck there? What caused Sonic to stop there? He should have just kept going there, but no. He for some reason just continued to. He just got stuck in the corner for no reason whatsoever. There was a time where it's because the Spikes Wisp still has the homing attack, where I ended up jumping and then unintentionally homing attacking into that robot just to the right, and that sent me into the goal ring prematurely. And then there were just times where I was holding away from the goal ring and the spikes just kept moving. I then tried changing direction and the spike kept moving. It just can't decide what direction it wants to go in or when it wants to stop. And that is the main problem with the spikes list. It's still better than it is in Generations by a long shot, but it just can't decide if it wants to stay still, if it wants to stop. It just cannot make up its mind. And that is like, why? Why is that such a nightmare? For what reason does it have to be this awkward to control? So yeah, I don't like the spike twist as much as I thought I did, it turns out. Thankfully, this stage is simple enough. So I already got the S rank for this on the first try. And then I proceeded to miss that first red ring. That first red ring, I swear, does not respawn. I swear all the others do, but that first one just does not seem to. Whenever you're making your way around the planet. I don't know if it's possible to get all of the red rings in one single loop. So what I would recommend is you just keep trying to get as many points from the motorbugs as possible. And then when you eventually have enough, try and get all of the red rings. And I think you need to hit the switch in order to get the last red ring to appear. Because it will make that trail of rings at least to the goal ring. And at the end of one of them is where the red ring is. So you will need to hit the button the first time. The problem is I was in the wrong place. Like that. Just missed it. I very briefly paused then. I edited out the pause menu, but mostly. But I did briefly pause. And the motorbugs is coming for me. Thankfully, goal ring saved my life. I see the end result is I still managed to get a personal best. Not in time, not in rings, but in overall score. I guess because of the motorbugs and the quick stepping, otherwise it doesn't make no sense to me. And this was another stage that did cause me a bit of trouble, and it's mainly just because you need to... This one is all about holding on to wisps and trying to make sure that you go in the right direction. So you need to try and stay on the upper pathway when you get to it. So the first thing you got to do is use the frenzy. There's a red ring just in here. That one, we already got that one. You do that to grab the laser, because you need to get the laser up there to get up to that shaft. It's an infinitely respawning one. So the first thing you want to do, get the laser in there. You're more than likely going to pick up the frenzy wisp again, it doesn't matter. And then I just... when you grab a capsule with a wisp in it and you've already got the wisp, it will be replaced, but the other one will then proceed to fly around for a little bit for you to grab it again if you didn't mean to. And that includes when you're using your color power. So when I was using the laser, then I was able to grab the frenzy in the midst of it. And so I got the frenzy back. Not that it means anything. This one's a bit hard to time. So you've got to do a quick jump, but you've got to get your momentum going. You'll very carefully make your way to that laser wisp there, get to the end, and there we go. And then you need to take out all of these egg pawns at the end. It just happens to be a frenzy wisp here, I didn't need it. And just try and grab as many points as you can. I could have gotten a bit better if I didn't get hurt, but it doesn't matter. It's still enough points for the S rank on regular score alone. Didn't need the time bonus. I don't even have a ring bonus. Yeah, in its normal state, it's a very easy stage, but it is kind of tricky to stay on that top pathway. Hi, Dark Gaia. Where's your middle eye? It doesn't even look like there's room for your middle eye. Right, so this one is all about trying to stay on the correct path. Unfortunately, you're not really told what path, you don't know which path is the right one. So you're always encouraged just to go through these rainbow rings. Don't. So don't switch to that one there. Stay down here. The camera gets a bit awkward, but then you're just given enough time to grab that red ring. And you want to make sure that you are going in the right direction here. So mind your homing attack. It suddenly decided to switch direction then, but thankfully there was still a way to get back. I don't know if holding forward makes any difference. Just don't hold back while you're on that roller coaster, otherwise you will fall off the edge. And that's how you get to that first red ring. Everything now is just straightforward. We can't exactly go anywhere on this roller coaster. So let's head back into the planet. Asteroid, I don't know. Is there a difference between a planetoid and an asteroid? There's like so many different words. I still get confused between like the different, because I know there's meteor, meteorite, asteroid, and then I think there's like one more. I don't know what a comet is either. I think a comet is like what it's made out of, but it's like I get so confused. Meteor, meteoroid, meteorite, asteroid. What is the difference? But I get so confused. I think partially it has something to do with how they entering the planet, is it? I want to say it's like it's a meteor when it's falling through the planet, but oh, I don't know. I don't know. It's stupid. Why can't we just call it one? They're practically the same, aren't they? It's a piece of rock. Or is it, oh no, it's probably made out of something different. But you know what? We have 4 terrestrial planets and we have 4 gas planets. They're not exactly made of the same thing, but they're still all called planets, aren't they? It's like Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune are still considerably different from Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. But they're still planets. I do not get it. It's like the fact that the gas giants, they have rings, but those rings aren't moons. They're not all the rocks. I don't think they're asteroids either. I don't know what they count as, but I don't think they count as moons either. They have moons. I think Jupiter and Saturn have like 30 moons. But they don't. The ones in the rings do not count as moons. I don't get it. Isn't it still a natural satellite? My astronomy is not very good. I still hate this thing. I don't even know what it is. I don't even know if it can attack you. Does it attack you? I mean, it can do that, but that's it. Like, does Sonic eventually get sucked in? He doesn't seem to. He seems to just stay at the end all the time. Thankfully, with its death... no, what am I saying? This isn't the end of Asteroid Coaster. We've still got the boss fight. That's all the red rings in Asteroid Coaster, but we're not done yet. And there we go. This is also the point where I just got bored of constantly breaking down all of these letters, except for this one. I decided to just keep waiting around here. No, really, pass me. Why did you wait here? I do not remember why I was waiting. Alright, let's try this again. This was like my 3rd attempt at this, because, well, it was the 3rd attempt that I actually finished. There were many other attempts as well. I was trying to get this rocket wisp is easier said than done, because I swear it depends I think it depends on what you attack, how close you are, and the rocket wisp is also way harder to see on this pathway than the laser wisp was for Starlight Carnival. There's also no explanation as to this is the only time in Asteroid Coaster where suddenly these forming pathways from Starlight Carnival were here. With no explanation given. But then again, there's no explanation for the path in general. Who cares? There's no explanation as to why Sonic can run so fast. Or how he can breathe in space, but not in the water. You are going to have to hold on to your rings. This stage essentially has to be a no damage run. Even when you collect all the rings at the end, it's not enough. See, unlike the laser wisp, I was able to destroy the weakest part, and I still got the rocket, which it wasn't letting me do beforehand. So I don't know how this boss fight works. Like, is it distance based? Is it attack based? What makes the rocket and laser wisps appear during these boss fights? Anyway, you hit the Scullion with 2 rockets, and that's enough. Just try and collect the rings. Collect rings and quick step at the same time so you can get the maximum number of points that you can. Eventually it'll fade to white. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you are going to need to get a fair number of rings for this stage. See, look, I really didn't get that far in there, like 3 million. And then 3,011,600. And with the rings, you're barely going to make it, so just make sure you keep quick stepping during that boss fight whenever you can as well. But anyway, next up, it's probably the worst stage to get all the red rings in. It's Aquarium Park. So I will see you guys then.